and welcome to my second ever podcast. And today I wanted to discuss some issues relating to online journalism. And I was thinking, in the modern day and age, anyone can be a journalist per se. We all have a piece of equipment that gives us the ability to literally communicate, share, write, collate, publish and record content instantly to be delivered to a wide audience. And then we can instantly receive feedback and interact with our readers or our listeners. And so it means, and as we all know, and stating the obvious, that we can not only access whatever information we want and live in constant incoming information, the 24-hour news cycle, but what it means is that being an actual journalist, I think, is harder than ever before. And this is because literally everyone can be a journalist. Visualize the word journalist with inverted commas around it, please. Previously, journalists were a defined group, mostly professionals, and they wrote for mainstream media and broadcasting companies. And so now I think, and I guess so does everyone else to a certain extent, now that this is not so clear. So I was thinking, what do we do as young, blossoming media professionals? And what do we need to do to not only set us now apart from the rest of the pack, but also from every Tom, Dick and Harry with something to say on the interweb? I've been doing some reading, asking some questions, and observing my social media surroundings, and hopefully paying attention somewhat in my classes. And I've come up with a few things, and I want to share them with you. So firstly, the most important thing I've noticed is establishing your own brand and presence on the virtual world, so to speak. And that brand is you. So essentially, we need to authentically be ourselves, and this is what resonates with an audience. Copying someone's blog, topics, style of speaking, etc. won't work, and it has to be you, it has to be us. So the key question to ask ourselves is, what is the image we want the world to see? What is my specific specialization? So separate from the news organization or business you're working for, this is like your more specialized LinkedIn, for example, but across a few different platforms. For me personally, I am still figuring that out, and I have an array of things that I'm passionate about and am attempting to collate them on a platform that is me. So that's a work in progress. Secondly, we have to be careful to make sure that we are getting it right. Yes, everyone will start posting about something they have seen, heard, or think. Yes, they can share it, and yes, they can quickly achieve the audience that you desire. But if it's wrong and lacks credibility, then bam, your reputation is gone, and you are just as good as the Daily Mail or perhaps New Idea. So it can be exciting to get it first, but what I guess it comes down to is that old speed versus accuracy thing. So from my point of view and from others in the field, it does seem like the latter, the accuracy, is better. I think social media, going to my third thing on the list, I think social media is an incredible tool. I think we should utilize it to the absolute maximum. There's no need, again, to repeat the obvious and say how it saturates pretty much everything we do, but what I do think we should do is choose 3 platforms and work them. I've seen this with many media personalities online from different industries, and they all plug platforms simultaneously and strategically with really good, solid, and consistent content. I personally am a big fan of Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and probably spend a little bit more time on Instagram and Snapchat, and this is because Facebook is a little bit of a different part, a bit more personal. I've tried to get on board with Twitter, but I just haven't seemed to click with it yet. I seem to go through phases of sporadic consistency over the years, but apparently that's quite an important one, so I should keep working on that. The fourth thing on my list is that we need to be able to offer multimedia skills. I'm not skilled in new media programs and different editing software, but I am fluent in Facebook, Instagram, and all things social media. And I like to think I go pretty all right in writing delicious turns of phrase. However, even though my experiences and attempts at iMovie, Adobe Photoshop, Google Map creation, and InDesign, and making interactive infographics make me shudder, I know I must persevere, because not only is my mediocre ability to assemble something using these programs vital to my skill set in a new world of journalism, but it is also critical to getting and retaining a reader's attention. Our new audience, more often than not, will not just read a block of text due to that whole short attention span thing that we apparently have. So what we need to do is plug those visual aesthetics and interesting formats as much as possible. So I think that's the end of my list and those 4 big things that I've come up with at the moment. But most of all, and to finish off, I think it's really important not to fear the future and buy into all the doom and gloom. Journalism and a career in media is undergoing significant changes and is in a state of flux. But this is nothing new. Many changes, and massive changes at that, have taken place since news and reporting became a thing. I think we just have to adapt. The way the job is done is changing, but there will always be journalists and a need for journalists, online and off. So that's all from me for now, and I hope you have a good day, and thank you for listening.